Merry meet and welcome to Jupiter's Radiance. I'm Taylor and today we're going to be doing what I like to call our money bank spread. This is going to help support us whenever we are trying to align any present financial situations to the goals that we are aspiring for. With that, let's go ahead and get started. Merry meet again. So to get us started, as you can see here, I do have an extra card here. This is we've used this in some other spreads as well, but this is going to be like our identifier card. And so when it comes to money and finances, there's a lot of different ways that we could really be feeling about them, and there's a lot of different types of cards that you could choose. So working within your own decks, feel free to choose whatever kind of identifying card that you need in that moment. Say, for instance, you're working with the tarot deck and you have a Two of Pentacles and a Ten of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and say the King. You know, each of them, even though those are all just pentacles, they each represent something different. And so maybe you're wanting to use the two because you're like, I'm really trying to balance out my energies right now. Or maybe you're thinking of using the Queen because you're like, where is my luxury? Where is my seat of comfort? Or maybe you're using the King because you're trying, kings can represent a lot of like self-employment. And so maybe you're trying to ask about questions around finances within your business. So that's what I mean when I say using an identifier card to help support what energy you're really wanting this reading to tune into. It is optional and you do not have to do it. You also can make this its own card to where it is something that you flip over so that you know a little bit more around your own mental and emotional state with the finances. Anyways, with that, let's go ahead and get more into exactly what each of these cards in card slots represent. And so for the identifier today, I did go ahead and choose financial constraints because right now it is part of the reason why we're doing it for the third week in April is because this is tax season, right? And so a lot of times we are really thinking about the way that we engage with our money, but we tend to be in a state of lack. So I wanted to use financial constraints for this reason. It's not necessarily saying, oh, we are feeling constrained or we don't have enough, but it could just mean that there's a little tension and help us understand that a little bit more. So we have card number 1 here. This is going to be the starting point. So this is quite literally like what you have in your situation right now, what you can work with. And then our card number 2 over here is going to be about where you want to go. So this is like your financial goal that you're keeping in mind for this scenario. And then we have card number 3. This is the method to get started. So advice, any actual to-do items that is going to be suggestive to begin. And then once you're a little bit more along your path and engaging with those, working towards the goal, this card number 4 is going to be about the methods to maintain, because a lot of times once we get to a point, the same way that we got there is not the same way to maintain it. So this is going to help us not only achieve our goals but maintain it. Now for our roof of our bank situation here, we have this one is going to be more about like what to look out for, so like something that could possibly fall on you kind of situation. And then 6 is going to be like what is protecting you from that fallout, right? Because the roof is ultimately something that protects you from external elements. So there's a little bit of like externalness in these 2 cards and letting you know just in general what is happening around you so that you can more better engage with these methods and reach your goals. Let's go ahead and get started with our collective reading. And so for our starting point, we do have number 53, the Magician and the Mirror. So what's very interesting about this is this kind of letting you know you have a lot more control than it may seem in regards to your finances, and that if there is really any illusion, that you kind of can manipulate that illusion as well. And so the main energy around this is recognizing that you have a lot more control within creating the reality around your abundance, around your finances. Let's go ahead and take a look at what our goal is, and then we'll dive into deeper around what this means and how they blend into each other. And so we have 48, the Angel of Balance. So this is letting us know that we're kind of going from this very mental aspect place where we feel like we're always needing to be intentional in our finances to where we're feeling a little bit more secure and quite literally balanced within them. And there's kind of like an easing of the tension not necessarily that the flow of abundance is changing, just more about becoming more comfortable within it and recognizing the changes that you can create within it as well. Let's go ahead and go on to our methods. And so we have 6 contract. So this is very interesting because, of course, this is a collective reading. So we have a couple different messages that come forward with this. And so the first one is going to be that you quite literally will be signing a new contract. And so within this, you have a lot of say within that contract. A contract is not just something where you're like, okay, this is it, I have to sign it. There is typically some negotiation with it. So trying to navigate it in a very legal sense as well as advocating for yourself is going to be the way that you engage with that magician and the mirror energy in order to bring about more balance. The other side of this contract card is going to be around recognizing that maybe you need to delegate a little bit more. Maybe that's why you don't have as much balance within this, especially if you are sharing your finances with someone or if you have a business partner, then there is a need to recognize that you both are contributing to the situation. And what that means is it may be time to review the initial contract that you set up in the first place as well. So a lot of this, there's 2 messages essentially, is you either are on your own getting a contract and you're going to start working with others in order to balance out the amount of intention and control that you feel around your finances, or you are renegotiating a contract that was initially set up and worked during that time, but now that you have achieved a little bit more self-confidence, self-success, it's time to relook at that contract and advocate a little bit more for what makes sense for you in this current stage. So there's a little bit of adjustments happening, but that you are well within your power to do these adjustments is a main message. Okay, so our methods to maintain once we do in fact have them, and I do read reversals within this deck. So we do have the Door to Romance, and it is reversed. So our method to maintain, being this Door to Romance reverse, is actually telling us that it's really saying, like, in order to maintain, continue advocating for yourself. You need to give the love that you would give to someone else to yourself first. That's really what this mainly is about, and it's through having that sense of self that you are going to be able to maintain the balance that you have achieved. And so, because a lot of times too, in this initial setup, a lot of it is speaking around, especially if you're with a business partner or a romantic partner, around the fact that the initial contract worked at the time, but now that you are more stable on your own, it's time for you to advocate a little bit more for what makes sense within yourself. All right, so what to look out for? We have the 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. So this is letting us know what's interesting about this is the thing to look out for is essentially within your third eye, becoming a little bit too overzealous is how it comes through. Essentially, overthinking is the main thing that happens here. And thinking also that you have to do it all on your own. A lot of times this is a very empowered state. But if it is not connected, say, to the 7th chakra or the crown, we miss how aligned those insights can be, and then we can sometimes try to force certain situations. So this is letting us know that we may be trying to force certain insights, and so whenever you are in doubt, the main advice that comes forward is kind of wait it out so that more information can come forward. So don't make anything to where it just becomes more difficult for yourself. Instead, look at it as, if this is difficult, it needs to change. And if I don't know how yet, I will soon. And this is about your finances too. So if you're really unsure, like I have no idea what this contract is about, just wait. The information will be revealed to you. And then we have what is protecting you. And we have 4, happy family. So this is letting us know that ultimately throughout all of this financial constraint, concerns, this tension that's happening, is you are being protected because you do have a sense of family, whether that is very much in a spiritual sense and that you are just being loved and supported by the universe, then that is wonderful. If it is very literal in the sense that you have a family around you and despite how finances may seem, you're happy and healthy and wealthy in that aspect, then that is also something to take off that tension and around if you're making the right choices, if you are finding the balance that you need. So this happy family is helping you recognize, like, this is not the only area of your life. You have multiple areas that you can lean on for support. And that is another way that we achieve balance. So I'll go ahead and end it there for today. I want to say thank you again for being here. Let me know how this reading is resonating with you, if you try it out with your own cards. And I will definitely see you guys next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more weekly spreads. And blessed be.